Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Mike Sokol of the NASDAQ OMX Group, and it's my great pleasure to welcome back the St. Baldrick's Foundation and their chairman of the board, John Bender, as well as Bill Hogan, Vice President and General Manager, Enterprise Sales at NetApp, which happens to be St. Baldrick's biggest corporate fundraiser and a NASDAQ-listed company. Let me also extend a warm welcome to all of our friends at NetApp and all of our distinguished guests to NASDAQ. We're excited that you could all join us right here from the crossroads of the world in Times Square, New York, as we get set to ring the NASDAQ Opening Bell. So how about a round of applause to kick things off? So you all know the story. It was March 17th, 2000, and 3 New York City reinsurance executives turned their annual St. Patrick's Day party into a fundraising event to help kids battling cancer. It was John, along with Tim and Kenny and Edna McDonald, who came up with a plan to challenge their colleagues to shave their heads in solidarity with children who typically lose their hair during cancer treatment. The 17 shavees were asked to have their friends, family, and coworkers donate money for a cause, for the rare privilege of seeing them bald. The goal was to have each man raise $1,000 for an expected total of $17,000. But by the time the last head was shaved in Jim Brady's pub, 20 heads were shaved and more than $100,000 was on the table. John, Tim, and Edna had no way of knowing it then, but their idea for helping sick children would evolve into the St. Baldrick's Foundation, funding more in childhood cancer research grants than any organization except the U.S. government. I think that deserves another round of applause. In 2007, NetApp partnered with St. Baldrick's when Bill Hogan and Joe Santamorena, NetApp's America's sales director, were approached by their friend, John Bender, to participate. Bill's son, Liam, who's with us here today, was just 9 years old at the time and volunteered as the inaugural shavee at the first NetApp St. Baldrick's event. What started as one event in New York City, led by Bill and Joe, has turned into a NetApp global effort with shaving events in 25 different locations, including Singapore, the UK, and Canada. Since NetApp's participation with St. Baldrick's in 2007, they've shaved over 1,700 heads, including my own 2 sons, and raised $4.2 million to date. Truly remarkable. NASDAQ congratulates everyone on your hard work to make a difference in the lives of so many children, and we hope that today's market opening brings further awareness to these great efforts. Now it's my pleasure to welcome St. Baldrick's founder and chairman of the board, John Bender, as well as Bill Hogan, vice president and general manager at NetApp, for further remarks.
Thank you very much, Mike, and thank you to NASDAQ for giving this platform year after year to spread the word about the need to find a cure for childhood cancer. Mike, you summed up the history pretty well, and what I'd like to say is, in the last 14 years, we've now raised over $170 million. We've had events in over 30 countries around the world, all 50 states, and including your 2 sons and Billy's 2 sons, and the other 288,000 people have shaved their heads over the last 14 years. It's been a phenomenal success. And no good man is good without a good lady behind him, and there's been 30,000 women that have shaved their heads for St. Baldrick's, so the women have gotten in the act in a big way, and it's commendable. I think it's a bigger sacrifice than what the men do. So with all that good news, what's the problem? The problem is every year 175,000 children are still diagnosed with cancer. The problem is that 1 in 5 of those children won't make it. The problem is that the cure is often worse than the disease, and we have to do something about all 3 of those problems. Someday we have a world where there is no cancer and no kids have to go through the treatment that is often worse than disease. So where are we today? We're at today where we're doing great. We've raised $19 million already this year. But we're also in a place where governments are cutting back funding. The funding gap for childhood cancer research is shrinking every year, and we're having to raise more and more money. And that's where we need good friends, and good friends come like companies like NetApp. You ask Billy Hogan and Meg Quinn and the folks at NetApp to get involved, and $4.2 million later, it's an amazing, amazing thing. We could not do what we do. We could not fund the cutting edge research we do without our friends at people like NetApp and other of our partners. And I just like to say thanks to our friends at NetApp and everybody here today. And if I can ask one thing, my cell is please get involved when you leave, when you see this. Tell 2 friends about St. Baldrick's. Visit our website, www.stbaldricks.org. Get involved, write a check, shave your head, do an event. And I can't thank you enough. So thank you very much, Bill. Thank you.
Thank you, John, and thank you to our friends here at NASDAQ for, again, giving us this platform to put the good word out for the efforts that are going on with the NetApp family and community around the world, our customers, our partners, and our employees in support of this great cause for St. Baldrick's. It's been fun. It's been easy. When we did that first event 7 years ago, 4 of us agreed to do it, and then about 20 ended up shaving their heads that first year. And it really got contagious. And to date this year, we've shaved over 500 heads globally. We've had 13 events. We have another 12 planned. Actually, tonight I'm on my way to Chicago. I'll participate in another one. And every time someone shaves their head, it's about raising money and awareness and proof positive. When you walk out of that shavee for the first time and you walk into meetings and travel around the country and people are used to seeing you with the full head of hair, they ask why, or we offer. And everybody becomes a walking billboard. Represented in the room from NetApp today are about 30 employees who either shaved their heads or volunteered their efforts to do so. And again, 500 worldwide have done it already. That number will probably approach, it looks like to be 1,000 by the time it's all said and done. Other companies can follow what we've done and what Allied World's done and what John's done. And it's really just about individuals wanting to do the right thing, having an impact. And to be on stage at times with kids that have been impacted already by the disease and their lives being improved by the efforts of the doctors that have been funded by these foundations is truly a remarkable experience to do so. So with that, I want to thank all of our partners, all of our employees, and all of our customers that support our efforts. And again, thank NASDAQ, and let's get on with the show.
Well, John, in recognition of all of your incredible efforts and in celebration of today's opening bell, I'd like to present you both with the NASDAQ Opening Bell.